Can you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
There's just so much opportunity here. If you're in entertainment like we are, people are really jazzed on what you're doing out here. I know like a lot of people are like, oh, this is it's so fake in the U, but people are just excited when you're doing stuff.
G'day and welcome to Big Down Under. I'm Charlie Cotton and today I am interviewing the golden god of Australian Survivor. His name is David Genat and he's about to be the golden god of one of these shows over here in America, Deal or No Deal Island. He is in line to potentially win over $10 million in prize money. It's going to be the biggest TV show bonanza in TV show history, and David, it's down to David or Letty. Which one's going to take it home? My money's on the big guy, David. He is strong and handsome. He's a model. His big break came when he won a reality show, which was Search for a Supermodel, because he was like the handsomest one or whatever. He's an Aussie. Then he moved over to New York when he won that show. He ended up getting on Australian Survivor somehow, and he won that. Won that easily, actually. That's why everyone in Australia is like, this guy's the king. He's the king of reality show competitions. And somehow, Deal or No Deal must have got his number because they recruited him in, and now they've whittled away the competition down to only two, and he's going to have to play, potentially, a game of Deal or No Deal for over $10 million. So I want to talk to him about his sense of national identity, having lived over here in America 25 years. I want to talk to him about how we do Australian reality shows versus how Americans do their reality show. There's a lot of fun things to talk about. Believe me. You don't have to believe me. Just watch. Here is David Genat. He is the golden god of Australian Survivor. Dave, I was watching Dondi, Deal or No Deal Island with my wife the other night, and she remarked that I am the Timu David.
I can see that a little bit.
Yeah.
You need to disconnect this part of the mustache and the goatee, and then we're pretty much there, Charlie.
I know. I mean, we've lived a little sort of, we both moved to America, and we're doing different things on TV, but you are absolutely killing it. You are the golden god of Australian Survivor, and now you're coming the golden god of Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, it's been working out pretty good, but you've been doing well for yourself too. You know, don't sell yourself short, Charlie. You know, just gotta get in there. You got the hair, you got the like. What else is missing, mate? You know,
I mean, maybe $5 million or more, like prize packet potentially. That'd help.
Maybe.
How does it feel, man? Like you are in line to win the biggest prize in television history. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. I think when you come in and you start playing these, like, I guess my job now is to be a reality show plant. So I'm getting paid to come on reality shows, and to know that you're able to do that, but then in line to make so much money is really mind-boggling. And I think, especially with Deal or No Deal, being in this scenario where there's that much money being dangled in front of you, the motivation to win this thing was out of control.
Oh, I bet. And like, if you win, you've got to be the GOAT of game shows then. Like, if you take out Australian Survivor, come over here, take out Deal or No Deal Island, you're pretty much in the you're part of the Mount Rushmore of best ever reality game show contestants.
I mean, you said it, Charlie. You said it.
What's your opinion?
Fun fact, if I do take this out, this would actually be my third reality show win.
What was the other?
My career got started with a show called Search for a Supermodel in like 2002. It was like America's Next Top Model before there was an America's Next Top Model.
That was like your sort of big break, so to speak, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was kind of like I was doing completely different stuff. I was like doing web design, and a buddy of mine had dared me to enter, and then as a joke, I won it. And Ford Models New York were like, oh, you could do this as a career.
Wow.
Like, oh, modeling's a career? And apparently it is.
And then you decided then to move to New York on the basis of that?
I moved to New York basically straight after my first meeting with Ford. So that was in about 2001. The show finished. Part of the prize was Ford was like, we fly you out, you meet with our agents. And when I got there, they were like, yeah, you can do this.
Amazing.
So that's kind of what kicked it off. And it had been about, I don't know, 18 almost years before I returned back to reality television, but it's been going pretty well so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It must have been like I've dealt with the same thing. I moved over here, I thought just for like a month or two, and now it's been like 12 years. Did you move knowing that you were going to live here the rest of your life, sort of thing?
No, same thing. Like I just saw it as an opportunity. I honestly I didn't know anything about modeling or fashion at all. I like grew up in Perth, Western Australia, and it
Hey,
just seemed like the furthest. Yeah, there you go. West Coast Eagles, love it. My brother-in-law actually was on their championship team in what 2015. They won the last one.
oh
What was that
no
one?
way! I think it was 16. Now you're making
50s.
me not look like a good fan. But yeah, that's amazing.
Oh no, we're Blonde. This is going to come back to Honor. He was a ruckman. But yeah, I just kind of, I didn't really have much concept of what was going on. So my initial trip was for 3 months just to see, how it was. I hated it. But about month three, I nailed this really big campaign. I made no money at all and was like really like eating one box of Chinese food over the course of like 3 days. And then all of a sudden I had like 50 grand in my account, like bang. So it just really kind of took off from there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you still do modeling day to day? I mean, you're a bit long in the tooth these days.
Oh, that's rude. Uh, no, I mean, to me, like once I kind of like I wanted to transition into acting. So
Mm,
I've been doing some commercials and I studied theater in New York. And I was like, all right, this is getting some steam here. I want to start doing some acting. And so I'd started doing that and was auditioning for bits and pieces. And it wasn't really hitting like, I don't want to sound like it up myself or something, but modeling kind of came easy to me. Like it wasn't like I was like struggling to get jobs. Like I just showed up and then based on how you look, they're like, oh yeah, cool, you're our guy.
right.
And I had a really great career with like Ralph Lauren and some of these really big name brands, Mont Blanc. And so I didn't have to really do too much. And then when I'm like acting and auditioning and I'm going out for stuff like Australian Boyfriend, I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, what's going on here? And it really like it was taking me a minute to hit. And that's when the opportunity for Australian Survivor kind of came up.
Would you still
Uh,
like to do acting?
yeah, I mean, I still do bits and pieces here and there. Like I've done a couple of like little spots in films and stuff like that. I might go back to it if I win this money. I can I can do whatever I want, Charlie. That's a lot of dough.
Well, you
So
don't have to do anything if you win this money, probably.
no, I know. Well, I mean, in a very convoluted way, I get to act
Mm.
because I kind of feel like who I am on television and then who I am in real life is completely polar opposites for the most part. And it's like ad lib, like
Yeah.
I'm having an ad lib dialogue and create storylines and lie to people, pretend I'm not,
Right. Well, I mean, that's a great segue into like, you didn't tell anyone about your history winning Australian Survivor. In fact, I don't know if I was reading the first few episodes wrong or not. Were you pretending to be American or have you just developed an American twang from living over here so long?
I've been out here 25 years. My wife's American. My kids are American. So I definitely I know I've got like a little twang and I've been back in the States now for almost a year. So it does come back out. But
Were you pretending
at
to be
first,
American? You were pretending to be
I
American?
was thinking about doing it. I
Mm.
was like, how deep into the matrix should I go?
Yeah.
But the thing is like when I get really excited, I can't stop the Aussie coming out. So I get like super hyped, like I can't stop it. Like, man, if I blow that spot, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good because everyone was like trying to figure out who everyone was if they had a secret, and I was already keeping such a huge secret. I just
Mm.
didn't add more layers, but I was very tempted at first. It was something I think I actually said when they were originally doing casting with me. I was like, I'm just going to pretend to be like full blood American from Brooklyn. They're
Oh,
like, ooh, sorry, but I'm so glad I didn't do that.
you would have like
Being like,
to hold it for that long, for
oh
weeks.
man,
It's
could you
weeks.
imagine? Forget about it. Forget about it.
Can you give me your favorite thing about America in your best American accent?
Man, I think my favorite thing about America is there's just so much opportunity here, especially for if you're in entertainment like we are. It's just such a bigger market. And people are really jazzed on what you're doing out here. I know like a lot of people are like, oh, it's so fake in the U, but like people are just excited when you're doing stuff. And I found it a little bit opposite to that in Aussie. Sometimes I felt a bit like, oh, then they're not like super jazzed when someone's being successful.
Right, yeah, well, that's a
So,
tall poppy thing.
yeah, I know, and it's gotten so cliche. I remember when I first went down to Australia, people were saying about the tall poppy thing. I'm like, that's not true. And then after 2 years there, I was like, oh boy,
Might be true.
might be true.
How
These specialists.
how did the Survivor producers like notice you to begin with?
I had played. I had a friend who had played on season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Named Sarah Talik,
Okay.
and Sarah and I had the same agent. Sarah got off season 2, and we were working together a lot. Like we were just kind of coupled up. They liked the look of us together, and so we were working on a lot of stuff. And I went to do a job with her. I can't remember what it was, but she was like really skinny and had a bit of a 1,000-yard stare. And I was like, "What is going on with you?" And she's like, "I can't really say because of my NDA, but like." I just had the most amazing experience. It was Australian Survivor, and like was really going on about it. And we did that job, and I was like, "Oh, Survivor, huh?" Like I'd seen some of it, but I wasn't super familiar with it. And then she came to New York. We had dinner again. She was like, "You would be really great at this show." And we just had the same agent. And when they were like, "Oh, we're looking for a model, potentially male model," I threw my hat in the ring, and that was kind of it.
So when you won that, you won, was it 500 grand Australian?
Yeah, 500,000.
500,000 Australian, which then,
tax-free.
Oh, tax-free. Well, there's something.
So in Aussie, they don't tax winnings, which is good. Because I think in the States, prize money's taxed at the highest rate, which is like 46% or something. So they walk away with about half.
Interesting.
$500,000 here anyway.
But you stand to make a lot more. A lot more.
I mean, insane. Like, especially if you're converting that to Australian dollars. Prize pool right now is at 10 million USD.
Yeah.
Which I think is at like 40,000 Australian dollars at the moment.
Oh, that is, it's crazy. It's crazy. Could I ask you about the season, Deal or No Deal? I really loved it. You and Parvati are like the king and queen, the mum and dad of the whole season. Your relationship was so interesting because I kind of feel like you guys had a thing for each other. Like you guys had such a good connection, and I don't know, there was a chemistry between you guys. What was it like watching that back, especially like maybe with your wife? You know what I mean? How well you and Pav got along.
Look, yeah, definitely we had chemistry for sure. But a big part of these kind of social manipulation games, in my view, is using all those tools at your disposal. And it was stuff I'd done on Australian Survivor as well. Like you're literally sleeping together, hugging each other, like really using those, trying to form like bonds really early on.
Right.
But meeting with Pav and that being her game, like we just kind of clicked. And, when you've got that kind of chemistry and you're moving through the game together, I know it can be misconstrued as something, maybe it's a bit more than it is, but she's just incredible, man.
Yeah.
Like, and so we just got along like a house on fire. And she was a big part of the reason I'm where I am in the game right now. Totally.
Now, I mean, as it stands, it's either you or Letty. So it's 50-50 shot whether you're going to take home millions and millions of dollars. What's something you'd splash out on for yourself if you won?
I'm a big motorcycle guy. And I remember when Australian Survivor finished, they were like, what are you going to spend the money on? It was the question everyone asked. And I was going to buy myself a new motorcycle. So that's what I was saying. I was like, I'm going to buy a new motorcycle. And then Harley Davidson came in and sponsored me and started giving me bikes.
Wow.
So I think maybe I need to start being like, I'm going to buy a supercar, see if I can get like a Ferrari.
Sponsorship.
But I definitely will buy myself a new bike.
Totally.
That's always first on my list.
Look, obviously, if you won or not. So is it hard keeping the secret from friends and family? Like, let's say that you win $8 million on the finale and you got to keep that secret inside of you and not tell anyone for, when did you film it?
When we were filming last August.
So, 9 months, you got to keep a secret. Like, is it very hard? Like, win, lose, or draw, is it hard to keep the result from people you love?
Yeah, look, definitely. But I think because I've done a few of these now, there is this kind of sick fun in people not knowing.
Right.
And like wanting to surprise them as the episodes come out. And I don't really like spoiling eps too much, especially with people I know, like family and friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of heat and people asking me like, oh, did you win? Especially now. But I'm like, come on, you just wait one more week and we're
Yeah,
like right there. But my immediate family does know
right.
um, what happens. So that's a little.
How do you know your immediate family can keep a secret? Because if I'm like one of your kids or your mum or something, then I'm like, I'm gonna tell my best friend. I'm just gonna.
Well, you go look. Potentially, if someone finds out, I got a violation of my NDA and I won't get paid.
Could you imagine?
You got
Could
to
you
threaten. You just got to
imagine?
threaten everyone. You're like mob boss. Like no one says a thing.
That's hilarious. Because Joe Manganiello, to tease the season, he said, "Look, we're going to give away the biggest prize pool ever." Just and he was like, "I can't believe the final, deal or no deal." Where they just keep saying no deal. It goes on and on. So it's like we know you already are going to win a truckload of money. There's got to just be there's a lot of eyes on you right now. Just going. Are you worried that some people that are going to reach out for a couple bucks? Usually you try to hide it if you won a bunch of money on like a scratchy or a lottery, but here you can't hide it.
Well, I hadn't really thought of that, but thanks for bringing it up, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's anxiety level that I can add to my nightmares.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I mean, it's going to be a thing. Like someone's going to win a stack of money, and then you've got to, I guess, it's a very public thing, I suppose.
And
so you can do that.
I doubt that this is like the end of your reality TV career. Like, is there 100% chance we're going to see you on Traders next? Like, you are the Traders. Like, you are perfect. They wrote that show for you, bro.
I do feel like it would be right up my alley. The problem I'm going to have is that if I'm not a trader, I'll be so upset. I just will be like, all right, send me home.
And everyone will assume you're a trader anyway.
Everyone will assume you're a trader. And saying that, now I'm in big trouble. I would love to. So I really love that show. I've been following it as well. And we'll see. Like my ultimate goal is to go back to hosting. So I had Rush. I was hosting for Channel 9 last year. Even coming back to be a contestant for Deal or No Deal was really only to open some doors with me for me with NBC, and because there was so much money on the line.
Right.
If they were like, hey, you want to play Survivor, I would have been like, nah.
You would have said no to Survivor America?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
It's just not interesting to me.
Not interesting.
And it's like, what are you going to go through hell for like $1 million?
Right.
And then $500,000 after taxes. It's just kind of like, I've been there, I've done it. I think the Australian version is so much better. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. It didn't really hold too much appeal for me.
It's way better to go glamping in Fiji, and it's not as stressful.
They treated us so good.
Really?
You get to the Survivor experience of like all that strategy and social gameplay, but then you're in like these luxury tents with air conditioning. You're getting 4 meals a day. It's like all the Coke Zero you can handle.
It's like,
I couldn't even believe it. It was like being paid to be on vacation, and you get a chance to an insane amount of money. And I think that is a thing where it's like Dondi breaks the mold where, like, why would you want to do any other game show? If you're like a reality show talent, that's all you're going to want to do.
What sort of
much money?
Totally. What shows do you want to host then?
I love doing travel stuff. So I'm still involved with 9 for Getaway and, some kind of format along those lines. I have a little production company, and, we try to get some bits and pieces up here and there. So we're making our shows and doing our thing. And yeah, I'm pretty open.
That's great, man. Could I ask like how you met your wife over in America?
Yeah, we just met through friends. Like
she's American?
She's American, yeah. And American and like living in Australia. So she's we just met through some friends and got along like a house on fire, and yeah, now we have a beautiful daughter together.
That's beautiful. How do you give your daughter the Australian culture? Like, you feed her Vegemite, or what do you do so that she knows that her dad's from Australia?
100% Vegemite. There was always a celebration on Australia Day, and then Pearl learned how to cook Anzac cookies.
Nice.
So we'd make a big deal out of that, and just like a few bits and pieces here. But I think the cool thing about being from Australia is like there's so much fascination with our country and like the animals, and for kids, like talking about kangaroos and koalas and all this fun stuff.
Totally.
So she was really enamored with it. And I think we had our first visit when she was maybe like 4 years old. She went to like the petting zoo and saw the kangaroos and like the whole thing. It was just like obsessed with Australia.
Yeah, I mean, that's both of us are benefiting from the fact that Americans love Australians. Do you think you'd be where you are? Would you be as successful with exactly the same look and personality if you were American?
No, definitely not.
Right.
I think there's an edge. I think there's an edge to being an Aussie.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the voice or like, I think we work really hard, especially in the entertainment business. And I see it with the guys like camera guys and DOPs and stuff. They're just like, they work so hard, man. And all Aussies are like just kind of laid back, but want to work hard. And we love traveling and we love opportunities. And I think when an Aussie gets an opportunity, we run with it.
Totally.
And that's what we see, like so many big Aussies in doing well in the entertainment business. And
there's heaps, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
I also know you got kids over in Australia too, don't you?
Yes, yeah.
How do you deal with that, like just logistically and emotionally, having kids that are like literally on the other sides of the world? It's hard to like, I just like, when I married my wife and I had a kid, I'm like, damn, if things doesn't go right here, then I'm in for it. So like, how do you deal with it?
Is your wife American?
Yes.
Yeah. It's been a lot of travel. So I would say I spend about 3 or 4 months a year in Australia, go back and forth and do like a big trip across Christmas to try and have the summer down there.
Yeah.
And then a lot of FaceTime, man,
Yeah.
Like as much as we're like, kids and iPhones, like my kids and iPhones has been, amazing, because then you can kind of chat to them whenever you want, or they've got problems or whatever. You guys are talking in constant communication. So now my kids are teenagers. Like I probably speak to them more when I'm away than I do when I'm home.
Totally. So just to finish up, man, this next week for you is going to be potentially like one of the biggest weeks of your life. How do you plan to spend it? Like, let's do this as if you've won, and then we'll do it as if you've lost. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
David, congrats, man. It was a great season. I knew you'd win all along. What are you doing? What are you doing with the money? How are you going to spend your next week? Partying? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to get out like a couple $1 million in cash, and I'm going to put it in a bathtub and just like wash myself.
Right.
Wait.
And I'm really sorry. I'm sorry that, Letty just pipped you at the post, didn't she? I'm sorry about that, man. How are you going to get over this? Mate, it's been really nice talking to you. I'm rooting for you. I was rooting for you the whole season. I hope you bring Deal or No Deal down under where it belongs. All right?
Yeah. I hope you give people the Australian meaning of root.
Root, yeah. I'm rooting for you. I'm not rooting you. Okay.
Okay. You're rooting someone else. That's what I thought. You're rooting someone, But
if you're American, look it up. Thank you, David, Golden God of Survivor, Golden God of Deal or No Deal Island. I appreciate you, mate.
Appreciate you too. Thanks, Charlie.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Christina.
Cotton, how are ya?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Good to be here, as usual.
As usual, we've just been discussing with our American colleagues all of the finer points of Australian slang.
Yes, the difference between Avo and Arvo.
Avo and Arvo.
Yes, two very different things.
See, I miss saying Arvo now that I've lived here so long. Americans have no idea what Arvo, afternoon, it means afternoon, no idea.
This Arvo, I'm going to have some Vegemite Avo on toast.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's a good Arvo. That's a good
Arvo. That's a good Arvo. So hit us with your segment today. What's it called again? This week down under.
This week down under. Thank you. So a couple big stories from our Aussie stars, some A-list Aussie stars.
Ooh.
So number one, Hugh Jackman is launching a theatre company.
Okay. He loves the theatre almost more than movies.
He's a Broadway star.
Yeah.
He loves the theatre. He loves the stage. And it's alongside a producer called Sonia Friedman. She's West End and Broadway theatre producer. She was the producer of the Book of Mormon, one of them. And they're all about creating this like intimate and accessible live theatre. Like they'll be just feet away from the audience when they're on stage. Because
he has just hooked up with, what's her name again? She's like a thespian theatre actress too, isn't she?
Yes. Oh my God, her name has escaped me. Sutton Foster.
Oh, I'm so glad you found that. I thought we weren't going to find that.
I lost it. Sutton
Foster.
Yes,
yeah, she's a thespian. So these guys are just going to run a business together, probably.
Is. But also his ex, Deborah Lee Finesse, was also a part of the acting world. She was actually a patron of my acting school in Melbourne.
Is that right?
She's very into theatre and acting as well.
Oh, well, that's very good.
So Hugh sticks around in the industry. Anyway, that's it from Hugh.
Okay, thanks to you.
But anyway, no, but they'll be in like small venues around the UK and the US. So Americans can see, what Hugh puts up for his work.
Yeah, I love that he's going with his own theatre company as opposed to just being on stage. Like, I like that he's making a business.
Yes, and it's going to be called Together.
Together. All right, very good. What else you got?
Next up, Sia, Adelaide girl, my hometown.
Is it funny that her name is Sia? It just occurred to me. Is it funny that Sia's name is Sia when you never see her? Like, she's always got the wig over her
Such a dad
face.
joke.
I mean, I just occurred to me.
I hope Peach enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I really
you
do.
never see her. Okay, go on.
So Sia, sad news, she's filing for divorce
Oh.
from her husband, Daniel Bernard, after 2 years of marriage. But interestingly, according to court documents filed on Wednesday, March 19th, we also found out that she has given birth to a baby, her third child, which is a baby named Somersault Wonder Bernard. Their first child together.
Okay, so it's like good news and bad news.
Yes.
We just had a baby and we're getting
But
divorced.
it wasn't just then. It was like a year ago.
They named their baby Somersault. Wow.
Each to their own.
The names are just getting so crazy. Everyone's trying to one-up each other with celebrities try to do it so much.
I'd like some of the nicknames for Somersault. It could be Summer.
Summer's nice.
Summer's cute.
See, Summer I like.
Salty.
Salty. Okay, maybe I'm coming around on the old Somersault name.
Not bad.
I named my kid Peach, so what am I even talking about?
That's true. But yeah, they were legally married for 2 years.
Only 2 years.
May 2023 in an intimate candlelit ceremony at the Domenico Dolce. Oh my God, I'm Italian. I should say that right. Domenico Dolce
Very
and
good.
Stefano Gabbana's Villa Olivetti in Portofino.
Do we know if the husband or
Only
ex-husband...
6 guests were presented.
6
there.
guests. Oh, it's like elopement almost.
Yes.
Do we know if the husband, is he American or Australian?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Probably American.
Probably American, yeah.
Yeah. I feel that,
Yeah.
married to American myself. At least you're married to an Australian. You live over here, married to an Australian.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
No, I mean, it's just interesting, just like having your family of expats.
I married for love, not for a visa.
There we go. Hey! Hey! All right. Well, that's a good note to leave you on. Thank you very much, Christina.
Anytime. Good to be here.
And we'll see you guys here next week. Goodbye.